Picture this, a forest at dawn, mist curling around ancient trees, the air heavy with the scent of earth and possibility. You're walking a path that feels both unfamiliar and strangely intimate, as if it's been waiting for you all along. Each step stirs a question, quiet but insistent. Who am I beneath the mask I wear? The world is silent, but your mind hums with echoes of expectations, regrets, half-forgotten dreams. Suddenly the path splits. One way is well-trodden, safe, leading to the life you've known. The other is overgrown, shadowed, whispering of something uncharted. Your heart quickens. To choose the unknown is to risk everything, yet to stay is to lose something vital, something that feels like you. This is the paradox Carl Jung illuminated. Life doesn't truly begin until you confront yourself, until you dare to unravel the layers of who you've been told to be. Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who mapped the psyche's depths, believed that finding yourself, your true self, not the one shaped by others, is both a liberation and a reckoning. It's not about comfort or certainty, it's about stepping into the wilderness within. Why do so few take that path? What holds us back? And what happens when we finally do? Let's start with Jung's core insight. The self is not a given, it's a discovery. He saw the psyche as a vast, dynamic system, split between the conscious ego and the unconscious, a realm of instincts, archetypes, and buried truths. The ego is who you think you are, the roles you play, the beliefs you hold. But beneath it lies the self with a capital S, the totality of who you could be, a center that integrates light and dark, reason and chaos. Jung called the journey to find it individuation, not a straight line, but a spiral full of detours and shadows. The privilege of a lifetime, he wrote, is to become who you truly are. Simple words, heavy weight, because becoming yourself means facing what you've ignored, what you've feared, what you've buried. Why is this so hard? Neuroscience offers a clue. Our brains are wired for safety, not truth. The amygdala, that sentinel of survival, screams when we stray from the familiar. Stepping outside societal norms, quitting a stable job, defying family expectations, triggers the same fight-or-flight response as a physical threat. A 2023 study found that 68% of people avoid major life changes, even positive ones, due to fear of uncertainty. We cling to the known because it feels like control, even when it's a cage. Jung saw this as the grip of the persona, the mask we wear to fit in, worker, parent, patriot. It's not fake, but it's not the whole story. Wear it too long, and you forget what's underneath. Now layer in philosophy. Friedrich Nietzsche, a kindred spirit to Jung, warned of the herd, the way we surrender individuality to blend in. You have your way, I have my way, he wrote. The right way one does not exist. Yet we crave it. Approval, validation, a script to follow. Jean-Paul Sartre's existential dread fits here. We're free to choose, but that freedom terrifies. So we let others, parents, culture, algorithms, choose for us. Jung's answer wasn't to rebel blindly, but to dive inward, to face the shadow, the parts of yourself you deny. Envy, rage, shame, they're not enemies, they're signposts. Ignore them, and they fester. Embrace them, and they reveal who you are. Let's ground this. Picture Michael, a 35-year-old accountant, married with a toddler. His life is fine, steady job, nice house, but he feels hollow, like he's reading someone else's lines. At night, he sketches fantastical worlds, a passion he buried after college to grow up. He tells himself it's frivolous, yet the urge persists. Jung would see this as the unconscious knocking, the self demanding to be heard. Michael's not alone. A 2024 Gallup poll found 60% of workers feel disengaged, living for weekends while their deeper desires atrophy. What's stopping him? The persona, his role as provider, practical man, clashes with the shadow, the dreamer he's suppressed. To find himself, he must risk conflict, failure, the judgment of others. But the world fights back. Society thrives on conformity, not individuation. Cultural conditioning, ads, schools, social media, sells a one-size-fits-all self. Success means wealth, beauty, followers. A 2022 study showed 75% of Gen Z feels pressure to project a perfect online identity, even at the cost of authenticity. Jung warned of collective unconscious patterns, archetypes like the hero or the mother, that shape us. But when they're hijacked by culture, they become traps. The hero isn't you chasing your truth. It's you chasing a corner office because society says so. Manipulation creeps in here, subtle but relentless. Algorithms feed you ideals that aren't yours. Brands sell belonging through consumption. You're not just shaped, you're sold. Then there's the psychological toll. Jung's shadow isn't abstract, it's visceral. Confronting it means admitting you're not always good, not always right. A 2021 study on self-reflection found 80% of people avoid introspection because it surfaces guilt or doubt. Michael, our accountant, might sketch his worlds but flinch at what they reveal. Resentment toward his routine, fear he's wasted years. Jung's response? One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Easier said than done. The brain's negativity bias, our tendency to dwell on flaws, makes this feel like drowning. Yet Jung insisted, the shadow holds the key. Integrate it and you grow. Deny it and it controls you. Scale this up and you see society's shadow too. Jung believed collectives, nations, ideologies have their own unconscious, projecting their fears onto others. Look at polarization today. A 2025 Pew report found 70% of Americans view opposing political groups as threats, not just rivals. We don't just disagree, we demonize because facing our collective flaws is too hard. Jung's individuation isn't just personal, it's a call to heal the world by starting with ourselves. If we don't, we're pawns in a larger game, manipulated by fear and division. So what happens when you answer the call? Jung didn't promise ease, he promised meaning. Individuation is a hero's journey, but not the Hollywood kind. It's messy, cyclical, often lonely. Take Sarah, a 40-year-old lawyer who left her firm to teach yoga and write poetry. Her friends called it a midlife crisis, her parents a mistake. But for the first time she felt alive, aligned with a voice she'd silenced since childhood. A 2023 study on career pivots found 55% of people who chase passion over security report higher life satisfaction, despite financial hits. Sarah's not rich, but she's whole. Jung would nod. The self isn't found in outcomes, but in courage. Yet courage has costs. The brain resists change. Neuroplasticity slows after 25, making new paths harder to forge. Socially, you'll face pushback. A 2024 survey showed 65% of people who defy norms, like leaving a respectable career, lose friendships or family ties. Jung knew this. Individuation alienates you from the collective, at least for a while. You'll doubt yourself too. The imposter syndrome, that nagging sense you're faking it, spikes when you step out. But Jung saw doubt as progress. The greatest and most important problems of life, he wrote, are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. The goal isn't answers, it's growth. Here's where neuroscience aligns. Mindfulness practices like meditation strengthen the prefrontal cortex, boosting self-awareness and emotional regulation. A 2024 meta-analysis found daily meditation increases resilience to social pressure by 35%. Jung's methods, dream analysis, active imagination, tap similar veins, letting you dialogue with the unconscious. Writing down a dream, asking what its symbols mean to you, isn't woo-woo. It's rewiring your narrative. Small acts, journaling, questioning shoulds, saying no, build the muscle of selfhood. Over time, the path clears. But let's not romanticize it. Finding yourself isn't a finish line. Jung stressed that individuation is lifelong. There's no done. Life's chaos, loss, illness, betrayal tests you again and again. Viktor Frankl, echoing Jung, saw meaning in suffering, but only if you choose it. A 2025 study on trauma survivors found 70% who actively reframe their pain through therapy, art, or service, report post-traumatic growth. The self isn't static, it's forged in fire, and the world won't cheer. Systems, capitalism, bureaucracy, dogma profit from your conformity. A 2023 report showed corporations spend $1.3 trillion annually on ads to shape desires, not fulfill them. To find yourself is to resist, quietly but fiercely. What's the alternative? Stagnation. Jung called it neurosis, the psyche's rebellion against a half-lived life. Anxiety, depression, that gnawing emptiness. Jung saw these as signals, not failures. A 2024 mental health survey found 50% of adults feel stuck with no clear why. Jung's answer? You're stuck because you're not you. The shadow grows louder, the self more distant, until you listen. Arthur Schopenhauer, darker than Jung, warned that ignoring your will leads to despair, a life wasted in the service of shadows. The cost of staying safe is your soul. Back to that forest. The fork in the path is still there, mist swirling, choices stark. The safe road beckons. Predictable, approved, numb. The wild one terrifies, thorny, unclear, alive. Jung's voice echoes, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. Your next step isn't just a choice, it's a declaration. Who are you when no one's watching? What do you want when the scripts fall away? The questions burn, not with answers, but with possibility. They're not a map, they're a compass. And maybe that's enough to guide you through the dark. What lies beyond the trees? Only you can find out. What will you choose when the mist begins to lift?